From KHOU TV Houston, the spirit of Texas, this is 11 News. With Jerome Gray, Dan Netter with weather, and Matt Musil on sports. 11 News at 5:30.
And finally tonight, hold on. Put on your seatbelt. While the focus in the racing world may be on Indianapolis, Houston hosted the first annual Mini Grand Prix today. 26 local companies each sponsored their own race cars, all to benefit the Arthritis Foundation. These mini race cars can whip around the 1/2 mile track at speeds up to 40 miles an hour.
Well, it's pretty wild. I mean, when you're going around those curves and the car's bumping, I mean, 40 miles per hour may not sound fast, but when you're in one of these low cars on the ground, it's real fast.
A lot of fun. My adrenaline's going a mile a minute now. So when's the next heat?
The race was conducted just like the real thing, with pit crews and refueling stops. And you never know how far some of these new racers might go in the racing world. Although it might take them a while to get there, 40 miles an hour.
KPRC TV, Channel 2, Houston's 24-hour news channel. Now, Channel 2 News Weekend with Tim Lake, Linda Laurel, Ted Shaw, Lisa Molosky, and the Channel 2 News team.
Today's rainy weather held off long enough for a mini Grand Prix race in Houston. The cars were sponsored by Houston companies and driven by celebrities, corporate executives, and even doctors. This is the first time for this kind of racing fundraiser in Houston. The money goes to the Arthritis Foundation.
The Arthritis Foundation is going to benefit because about 1 in 7 of people today are afflicted with arthritis. And all the money that we raise here today goes back into the community, stays here in Houston for research.
Channel 2's Bill Biessa was seen kicking a few tires in the pits today. We understand he was thinking about getting a car and sponsor for next year, but then he found out the cars only go 20 miles an hour. By the way, they do anticipate another race next year for all you drivers out there who
Right.
can't get enough on the Southwest Freeway or the Gulf Freeway.
You're watching Channel 13, KTRK-TV Houston, #1 in Texas. Eyewitness News with Debbie Johnson, Bob Boudreau, Tim Milton has sports, and Frank Billingsley's weather. Now, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
We got our own little race car tournament to talk about here in town.
Oh, yeah. You want racing? Here it is right here. Some familiar faces hitting the fast track today for an adventure in speed.
Oh, we got a race. We have a race here.
Yeah, that is yours truly in the aerodynamic helmet. Some of my colleagues, Jeff McShann, Doug Brown on hand, dozens of others, Johnny Clevenhagen, the sheriff, Red Duke there in the name of charity, but it was stiff competition.
I am not going to just, go for a Sunday drive.
Got a Corvette, so I mean, I ride around the Beltway pretty fast. Don't tell any cops that, though.
But for some, like Jeff McShann, getting a ride was tough.
I don't know, maybe it's me. I don't know. It's just not working. Until then, I'll just root for Bob Boudreau. Nothing against Doug Brown. I just thought I'd root for Bob Boudreau. He's part of the weekend team.
Good choice, Jeff. But he did get a car, and he came in third. And as for me...
I didn't wreck it. Victory.
All right, the real winner, the Arthritis Foundation. Proceeds from that event, the Mini Grand Prix, going to the Arthritis Foundation. And that helmet actually belonged to Bruce Wilkinson of CRSS, and no, it was not Chicken Man, it was Flames.
Nice hat, Bob.
Sure.
You ought to wear that more often. What did you come in, by the way?
We were 9th.
Okay, out of what, 10?
No, out of about a dozen.
Just kidding. Did great, and it was all for a good cause. What counts.
Yeah.
These are some of the stories tonight on Houston TV News.
Well, racing for research when we come back.
We're going to show you how the Arthritis Foundation's mini Grand Prix wound up over the weekend in just a moment.
Finally tonight, the Arthritis Foundation's first annual mini Grand Prix over the weekend was a smashing success. We here at Channel 39 teamed up with radio station Z107 to race our car for local arthritis research, along with 27 cars sponsored by other businesses. I shared driving duties along with Z107's Sherry Evans, and well, let's say we gave it our best shot. There she goes. Sherry did a great job. Our efforts were stalled a bit by a chain that flew off. You saw David trying to help out. There's our news director, Mike Crew, lugging the car that had a few problems off the track. We won't go into any more details, but we didn't exactly win. Here's who ended up crossing the finish line first. Mack Hike Chevrolet, Subaru and Geo's team. So congratulations to them.
She did very well.
Well,
you and Sherry
you.
both drove very well.
It was a lot of fun. We did have a lot of rain, and so that put a delay on things and caused some of us to spin out. That's the main thing. A lot of money was raised for the arthritis research efforts. All the money is going to stay here locally. The Arthritis Foundation is still calculating the proceeds of the event, so we don't know for sure how much was raised. We know it's into the thousands.
You were a little sore today, you were saying.
Still a little bit.
Still a little bit. We'll be back at 11.
Channel 13, KTRK-TV, Houston.
But at this Republican Party gathering, President Clinton's opposition was still critical of his handling of the Haitian situation.
It's a bad policy. The president's got himself boxed in. He has no credibility.
But Democratic House member Gene Green defended the president's latest action, even though the congressman opposes an invasion.
Charged with official misconduct and tampering with government records and evidence. She's accused of using her position as state treasurer for personal and political gain. If convicted on all counts, the senator faces up to a 20-year prison sentence. Of course, we'll have a live report from Fort Worth tomorrow on Channel 2 News at noon. Tonight, the United